Now we are talking about Paul Pogba. We talked about him last week, how he got linked to Juventus and how people saying he was a target for Juventus and all this kind of stuff. Now, been talked about again in the media. He just even when he's not the one coming out and saying stuff, even when it's not his fault, it's definitely not this time, someone has to bring him up. And this time it's France manager Didier Deschamps. He's been saying about how he's not very happy. So Didier Deschamps, speaking ahead of their international fixtures this week, says, Paul, I know him well and he knows the group well. He's in a situation with his club where he cannot be happy, neither with his playing time nor with his positioning. He's not in the best period. He's had a series of injuries and the COVID-19 has hit him quite hard. He needs to find his rhythm. The match he had to make last month was good and consistent despite lack of pace. We cannot, however, say that he's fulfilled in what he does at his club. With me, there is no concern, but I try to manage it too. When a player is in discomfort at his club, obviously he's happy to play for the France team. He will tell me about his feelings and I know him very well. It will go in a positive direction, even if it is also up to him to make all his efforts. So, Didier Deschamps saying that Paul Pogba's not happy. It's not really anything new, but at the same time, this is stuff that keeps coming up and up and up about Paul Pogba. There's always rumours, there's always this. Now, you're talking there about playing time for Manchester United this season. Paul Pogba started the first few games of the season for Manchester United and looked off the pace. He had to be dropped, he had to be rested. And I don't think anyone can argue that he hasn't played his best football for Manchester United this season. He's looked good coming off the bench. I think he was fantastic coming off the bench in Paris. But, look at the games he started. You look at the Arsenal game. People will say that, maybe he wasn't in his best position. He was playing in something a bit new. He's playing in the forward position that he's been crying out for and apparently is his best position. He wasn't relying on doing defensive work. And he just was really poor, giving the ball away, making poor decisions. And to be honest, it shouldn't be about your positioning that makes these decisions. It's not, you can question his influence on the game from when he's playing in the deeper positions, but you can't question him when he gives the ball away, when he's making silly mistakes. And if he's not happy, then he's not happy. He's got to work his way back into that team. You saw this week against Everton how well Fred, McTominay, and Bruno worked as a three in midfield. And I think that Ollie just trusts that at the minute. Things aren't going fantastically well for Manchester United. I don't think there's anywhere to hide. And you can't have people that aren't quite comfortable in their positions. I think Fred and McTominay, with Bruno ahead of them, I think it works well. I think the team works well around them. I think everyone's comfortable. And I think that Manchester United are going to stick with that until Paul Pogba finds his form. Now, maybe he'll go away to France this little international break, get a little bit more match fitness, play a few more games where the pressure isn't quite on him as much, and maybe he'll come back into the team and be firing. I'm hoping that, because no Manchester United fan wants to see a poor Paul Pogba performance. That's not the easiest thing to say. So, they want to see him playing very well. And I want to see Paul Pogba. I want to see the front five we had towards the end of last season. I want to see Pogba. I want to see Bruno, Mason, Rashford and Martial firing, scoring loads of goals as we were towards the end of last season. I don't want to see us having to play defensive formations. But at this moment in time, with Paul Pogba not playing his best football, I think it's the best thing for Manchester United to play Fred McTominay with Bruno. Now, the question is, again, you've got Donny van der Beek in there who has had glimpses in there as well. There's a lot of competition for places in and around those forward midfield roles. So Paul Pogba's going to have to keep stepping up. And if he's unhappy, I think, look, these rumours are going to come out every time he goes on international break. Any time he speaks to the media, they're going to ask him about, are you happy at Manchester United? He's always going to say things like, do you know what, maybe I am, maybe I'm not, maybe I want to move on. But look, Paul Pogba needs to prove himself. He needs to up his performances, whether he's going to play for Manchester United or any other club. He needs to get better at this moment in time. He can't even argue that he's been hard done by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at the start of this season.